Hello friends, welcome to Kriya Sharir the Physiology. In previous lecture, we have seen types of hormone. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about regulation of hormone secretion. We all know that hormones are secretions of endocrine gland. Okay, so these hormones, as they are secretion of endocrine glands, they are directly poured into blood. Okay, so there is a normal range in which the concentration of hormone should be maintained, and this range is very short. Okay, so below this range and above this range is abnormal. So abnormal concentration of hormone means below this range or above this range for longer duration is pathological. Okay, it will lead to pathology. Okay, and it will create diseases in body. Okay, so this is the reason that the concentration of hormone should be maintained within the normal range. Now, this mechanism of secretion, there are four types of mechanisms. Okay, four types of mechanism of secretion. With that four mechanisms, the secretion of endocrine gland is regulated. Okay, so these are the actually regulatory mechanism of hormone secretion. First one is feedback mechanism. Second one is neural control. Third one is rhythmic or chronotropic. Or chronotropic control. And fourth one is humoral control. Okay. With these four mechanisms, endocrine secretions are controlled. All these mechanisms work togetherly in synchronization pattern. So this is known as multiplicity of regulation of hormone secretion. Multiplicity of hormone secretion. Okay, means multiple mechanisms works for hormone secretion. Not only one mechanism work at a time. All these four mechanisms can work at a time to regulate the hormone secretions. Okay, now we are going to see one by one. Out of that, first, which is feedback mechanisms, we have seen it in homeostasis. Okay, the negative feedback mechanisms works in hormone secretion. Okay, same explanation is here, that negative feedback mechanisms regulate the hormone secretion. For that purpose, I am not going to explain it here. Okay, so you can get the description about feedback mechanism in homeostasis lecture, which is available on my channel. So now second, which is neural control. So we all know that nervous system is a controlling system in our body. So out of that, autonomous nervous system innervates endocrine gland. Okay, and it control the secretion of endocrine gland. There are two parts of autonomous system. First one is sympathetic innervation is there, and second one is parasympathetic innervation is there. Okay. So these sympathetic and parasympathetic innervations from autonomic nervous system controls secretion of endocrine gland. The good example of this neural control is that when sympathetic innervation gets stimulated, it will lead to secretion of catecholamines from adrenal medulla. Okay. So adrenal medulla same get innervation from sympathetic and parasympathetic. When sympathetic innervation to adrenal medulla gets stimulated, it will lead to increase in secretion of catecholamines. These are it is the example of neural control. Okay. So endocrine gland could be divided into three types. For neural control, according to neural control, endocrine gland could be either cholinergic or serotonergic or dopaminergic. Okay. Acetylcholine, serotonin, dopamine, these are the actually neurotransmitter. Okay, so the sympathetic or parasympathetic, which innervates the endocrine gland, at the end of this nerve, this neurotransmitter gets secreted and which will lead to alter the secretion of endocrine gland. So endocrine gland can be divided into these three types also: cholinergic, serotonergic, dopaminergic. It is according to the neurotransmitter. Also, in neural control, hormone secretion can be initiated due to various stimuli. Okay. So, various stimuli can cause hormone secretion. Various stimuli, which are the stimuli, uh, for example, olfactory stimuli. Second one is visual stimuli. Third one is tactile stimuli. Fourth one is gustatory stimuli. Okay, these stimuli can also leads to hormone secretion, and this hormone secretion due to these various stimuli are under neural control. Okay, so example of this mechanism is milk ejection due to suckling reflex. Okay, so suckling is a tactile stimuli. Okay, this suckling is responsible for increased milk ejection. Okay, but actually this suckling cause increase oxytocin secretion. Okay, and increased oxytocin concentration leads to increased milk ejection. So milk ejection due to suckling reflex, it is under neural control, and the stimuli is tactile, means suckling of nipple by baby. Okay. Next control is rhythmic or chronotropic control. Okay, rhythmic means there is a secretion of hormone with a specific time duration. Okay, so it is called rhythmic or chronotropic according to the chronology or according to the sequences. Okay, so this is operated by various rhythms of biological phenomena. Okay, in our body during normal physiology there is various biological phenomena which are occurring continuously in our body in rhythmic pattern, in chronotropic pattern. Okay, so this biological phenomena could be either circadian rhythmic or seasonal rhythm or sleep awake rhythm or periodic rhythm or the menstrual rhythm or menstrual cycle. Okay, and last one is phases of development, different phases of. Okay. So these are the biological phenomenon which are occurring continuously in our body, and according to this biological phenomenon, these hormones get secreted according to this rhythm. Okay, so we will see the examples. First one is episodic secretion, or it is also known as pulsatile secretion. Okay, so GnRH, gonadotropin releasing hormone. Okay, it is secreted in episodic rhythm. Okay, it lasts for from few minutes to hours. Okay, and this GnRH releasing hormone or gonadotropin releasing hormone is responsible for LH peak in menstrual cycle. Okay, but the secretion of GnRH is in episodic or pulsatile fashion. Second one is diurnal secretion. Okay, so diurnal secretion of hormone, it lasts for several hours. Okay, so this secretion lasts for several hours. Okay, but several hours in a day. Okay, means in a light and dark cycle. Okay, so in a day, complete day, there is a one part that there is a presence of light, and in night there is darkness. So according to that light and darkness cycle, this diurnal secretion of hormone occurs and it lasts for several hours. Example is ACTH, okay, which increases in daylight, okay, and second example is melatonin. In darkness, melatonin secretion increases in our brain and which leads to natural sleep. Okay. So these are the example of diurnal secretion. Next one is periodical secretion. It lasts for several days, sorry, few days. Okay. And the examples are gonadotropin in menstrual cycle. Next one is rhythmic secretion according to development or different phases of development. Developmental secretion. Okay, so according to the different phases of development of body, these secretions occur, like secretion of sex hormones in puberty. Okay, so it is a developmental phase. Puberty is a developmental phase. So in during puberty, secretion of sex hormones is at its maximum level, it at its peak. So it is also an example of rhythmic or chronotropic control. And the one more example is there, that seasonal. It is actually is the secretion of hormones according to the season, but it is well differentiate into animal and birds. Okay, so in human, we can give the example of rhythmic or phonological secretion, chronotropic secretion, episodic secretion or pulsatile secretion, which last for few minutes to hours. And the example is GnRH during menstrual cycle. Okay. Next example is diurnal secretion, that ACTH is increased during daylight, melatonin secretion increases during darkness, periodical secretions which last for few days, that is gonadotropin in menstrual cycle. Okay, developmental called secretion according to developmental phases, like sex hormone secretion during puberty. Okay, so these are the examples of rhythmic control. And the last one is humoral control. Humor means aqueous. Okay. So from aqueous medium, control of hormone secretion through aqueous medium. This aqueous medium could be either hormone or chemical. Okay, means one hormone could control secretion, could regulate secretion of another hormone. Okay, or the chemicals can control or regulate the hormone secretion. Okay. So first, hormone regulating hormone secretion. For example, glucagon increases or stimulates insulin secretion. Okay, so glucagon hormone stimulates insulin secretion, means one hormone increase secretion of another hormone, means it regulates the secretion of another hormone. Angiotensin increases aldosterone secretion. Okay, so angiotensin is one hormone which regulate or which increase the aldosterone secretion. And last one or third example is somatostatin. They inhibit GH, growth hormone secretion. So these are the examples in which one hormone regulates secretion of another hormone. Now the second one is chemical control. So chemical changes in body fluid can lead to secretion of hormone. Either it could be stimulate the secretion of hormone, or it could inhibit the secretion of hormone. Okay, so the chemical changes could be either blood gases, change in blood gases, means increase the CO2 concentration. Okay, after that acids, means increased H plus ion concentration, changes in ion concentration, or changes in osmolality. These factors could lead to chemical changes in body fluid or in blood. Okay, so these changes can lead to secretion or inhibition of hormone. The examples are hypokalemia, means decreased potassium ion concentration leads to insulin inhibition. Okay, means potassium concentration if decreases, if hypokalemia causes, it will lead to insulin inhibition. Second example is hyperkalemia or hyponatremia, or hyponatremia. Hyperkalemia means increased potassium concentration. Hyponatremia means decreased sodium ion concentration. This leads to increased aldosterone secretion. Okay. Means what? That chemical changes in body fluids leads to either secretion of specific hormone or inhibition of specific hormone. Thus, in that four mechanism, hormone regulation is achieved.